Welcome to the Central School of English Stage 7 video series. In this video, we will learn about direct speech and indirect speech in English. In this video, we will revise how to change statements in present tenses and past tenses from direct speech into indirect speech. We will also learn how to change questions from direct speech into indirect speech. You can answer the question, "What did he say?" in two ways. By repeating the words spoken, this is called direct speech. We can also answer this question by reporting the words spoken. This is called indirect or reported speech. When we change a statement in the present simple from direct speech to indirect speech, we must use the verb said and change the verb in the present simple tense to the past simple tense. For example, I like pizza changes to he said he liked pizza in indirect speech. I don't enjoy dancing changes to he said he didn't enjoy dancing in indirect speech. I have two sisters changes to she said she had two sisters. When we change a statement from the present continuous in direct speech to indirect speech, we must use the verb said and change the verb in present continuous into the past continuous. For example, I am working changes to she said she was working in indirect speech. They are playing changes to she said they were playing in indirect speech. I am not listening changes to he said he wasn't listening in indirect speech. When we change a sentence in the present perfect from direct speech into indirect speech, we must use the verb said and change the verb in the present perfect into the past perfect tense. For example, I have eaten breakfast changes to he said he had eaten breakfast in indirect speech. They have gone home changes into she said they had gone home in indirect speech. I've never visited Paris changes into she said she'd never visited Paris. When we change a sentence in the past tense from direct speech into indirect speech, we must use the verb said. We can also change the verb one tense into the past, or we can choose to leave the tense unchanged. For example, I worked last night can change to she said she worked last night, or she said she had worked last night. I did my homework can change into she said she did her homework, or she said she had done her homework. When we change a question from direct speech into indirect speech, we move the verb one step into the past, and we use the verb asked instead of said. For example, where do you work changes into she asked where I worked in indirect speech. Why are you here changes into she asked why I was here. What time are you leaving changes to he asked what time I was leaving. If we are asking a yes or no question, changing direct speech to indirect speech is a little different. Yes or no questions have the structure auxiliary verb plus subject plus verb. In this situation, we use the verb asked, and we also use the words if or whether. For example, do you have a sister? Changes to, she asked if I had a sister, or she asked whether I had a sister. Are you going home? Changes to, he asked if I was going home, or he asked whether I was going home. In this video, we have learned how to change statements from direct into indirect speech. We have also learned that when we change statements from direct into indirect speech, we must use the verb said, and we must change the verb one tense into the past. We also learned that when we change questions from direct speech into indirect speech, we must use the verb asked, and we must change the verb one tense into the past. Finally, we learned that when we change questions that do not have a question word, we must use the verb asked and we must use the words if or whether. This video was brought to you by the Central School of English, an English school in Dublin. For more lessons, go to centralschool.ie.